of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority officials, popularly known as LASTMA. You know, there was a time they said the fear of LASTMA
is the beginning of wisdom.
Because when you see that LASTMA official, you know that you have to check either you're using the phone or make sure that everybody in car is sitting properly with their seatbelts. Now, we'd like to hear your own thoughts and views on the show. Later on the show, we'll be having the Public Relations Officer of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, Mr. Olumide Filade. He's currently somewhere right now, but he'll certainly call in a moment. But please call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be happy to read your messages. Now, the reason why we wanted to make this a topic today is because we've gotten loads and loads of messages of people complaining of extortion, harassment, and we also know that on the flip side, LASTMA has been very, very effective in Lagos in helping to control traffic because for those of you that don't know what Lagos was before LASTMA, trust me, you have no idea because Lagos was a chaotic city. But when LASTMA was introduced, there was sanity on our roads in how traffic was managed. But obviously, everything good always has, at some point, is always mismanaged. So that's why we're using this opportunity to let our callers call in so that if there's something the officials are not seeing, they can begin to see and understand better because people are complaining of extortions in some areas and saying that LASTMA officials are compromised in certain areas because also LASTMA, some of them have lost their lives. I've seen videos where they've been killed, dragged, beaten up.
Yes.
So how do the government also protect the LASTMA officials from criminal elements, from people who are brutalizing them? So these are the two sides of the conversation I'd like us to touch on today. Who'd like to go first?
So I don't drive around often. I have like a short, regular transit route that I take on a daily basis. And I've had very good relationship with the LASTMA officials that are stationed there. The few times I've had challenges when I see new faces show up. And it's the same challenges that we have, which is people lurking and wanting you to flout the rule. When you commit the offense, then they jump out and apprehend you. And it is not with the aim of taking you to the office and taking you through the process. It is with the aim of unknowingly delaying you so that you would be compelled to sort them and move on. And I think that it's because we don't value time and we don't value correction. The most, and it's because we're discussing LASTMA, it's prevalent in all our law enforcement agencies. The aim is to apprehend and privately sort themselves, not to correct you. So it's not correctional. It is not to let the funds flow to the right source, which is the government. It is to personally satisfy themselves and, more importantly, to just delay you because we don't value time. So for me, I would appreciate if the LASTMA officials, and there's something called, like, technology helps this thing. Everybody in the world are using body cams, and it helps because it helps the official to be able to capture the face of whoever wants to hurt them. At the same time, it helps the citizens also to be protected, knowing that if you try anything, your camera is capturing you, you cannot switch it off. Right. I think that
Miriam, let me come to you. What have you been experienced with LASTMA?
Well, I don't have any recent experience with LASTMA, and from some of the things that you mentioned, for me, I've had my most recent experience has actually been with the police, and I see VIO a lot on the road. But with LASTMA, I used to have, especially in my area, there used to be a time that it was really bad. It just stopped you for no reason. But recently, almost as if there was a change in attitude. So that's my own personal experience. Of course, I'm not talking for everyone. And one thing, though, I noticed is if there's this opposite the stadium, the National Stadium, the road is a one-way road. So you can't come in through that road. You only drive out of the road. And recently, I noticed that there are lots of bikes just parked, lined up, alongside that road. And cars are now driving against the one-way traffic. And just beside it, you have LASTMA, you have the police. And I remember stopping a LASTMA official and saying, why is this road like this? Because also there are people, hawkers selling. So that road has now become so congested when it never used to be that way. And he said, well, they've taken this away from us and handed it over to the police. We can't do anything about it. So that's my most recent...
so the issue that there's the police, LASTMA, also
dichotomy, I think that's happening.
But let me take this call from Elijah before I come to PC. Elijah, are you there?
Yes, good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please. You're live.
Good morning, Mariah. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. Ladies in the house. As regards the issue of LASTMA you are bringing up this morning is a very good one, and I think it's timely. As far as I know, the Lagos where we used to know in those days, in terms of traffic, is...
We're having difficulty hearing you because of the TV at the background. Could you reduce the volume of the TV, please?
Oh, sorry there. The Lagos we used to know in those days without LASTMA is not what we used to have these days. And I want to tell you that their emergence has been very effective in reducing traffic jam in Lagos. But having said that, there are lots of anomalies being committed by these officials of the last one. Let me quickly mention one or two. I live in Ikorodu, and at some point, each time we have impediments on the road, you see last-man officers, they will pass you, especially in my 12 houses, they will pass you through the BLT corridor. And before you drive for 1 minute, before getting to the next exit that will take you out of the BLT corridor, you see another set of last-man officers that will apprehend you and forcefully take your car from you. They will drag you like as if you are engaging with stout, which is quite unprofessional. And this has often been reported, yet the state government seems not taking drastic actions against them. That is one. Number two, I was in Sabo Ikorodu one day. I wanted to take a keke going towards Adamo. So I parked my car somewhere. They don't know me. They don't know my identity. So the last man, a last man officer, a lady, stopped the keke that I boarded and begged that rider to take a woman, probably a neighbor or her mother, I don't know. And the next moment, the last man ahead stopped that rider, that keke, and this man was shedding tears. And the one that stopped him and begged him to help carry that woman came to meet him, and this man did not listen.
I think you got the gist of that.
Yeah.
We lost that. Yes, let me go on a break. When I come back, we'll come back to BC. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Where are you? Yes, thanks for staying with us. So we're still discussing the activities of LASTMA. We're going to go on to BC. BC, you're going to say something?
Yeah, so the issue I personally have with LASTMA is when it comes to diversions. So I go around the whole of Lagos because of the nature of my job and business. I always have meetings. And then I come to a place using the Google map, and I don't know that they are working on the road. There's no announcement to say that this place is condoned off. And Google doesn't know. Google will just drive you into
the dead end.
to the dead end. And then you see one official coming out to say, yeah, you, park there. What are you doing here? I don't live around here. I use the Google. And you'll be explaining to them. But it seems to me like they don't pay attention to what, once their mind is set that you have committed a crime, whether you're a first offender, you're not a first, you are not any offender, it's a crime. And they're not even bothering to explain and try to understand. So for me, I think they need to work with technology. Let us even have an idea that these roads are condoned, or find a way to liaise. I don't know how the Google map was set up for us in Africa here or Nigeria, but find a way to liaise so that people don't, fall into traps and then you're there just to extort them.
Abroad on the expressway, there are these screens that tells you, okay, please, there's a detour. You can exit up this way because there's a detour. So you know ahead of time.
And you're prepared
but here,
for
you just going to enter that thing and you're now reversing.
But they don't tell us if there's a change.
They don't tell us. You don't know.
They're permanent. They have the ones that
Let me take this call from Hassan. Hassan, are you there? Good morning, you're live.
You see, this issue of LASTMA in Lagos, we should start with the laws. The laws guiding the law. The laws are draconian by nature. Let me cite one for you. One in the sense that, why should somebody's vehicle be confiscated because of taking one way. For life. You understand? Do you expect something?
Really, it's too harsh.
Are we listening?
Oh, we
So-
lost that. Yes, go
So
ahead.
actually, I agree with him because we seem to have like a kilagbe kileju situation, which is like, what do we do? What's the response? Vehicle confiscation seems like a very huge offense, and I know that one way is terrible. Like one way can lead to loss of
Death,
lives.
yeah.
But most people that do one way usually are officials. Our police officers do one
Before.
way. Our army does one way. I've seen a PSP truck that is coming from this Olusosun refuse dump, taking one way on the express. And LASTMA officials saw this person doing it. So bringing me to the fact that where does the power of LASTMA officials start? Where does it end? If you are powerful enough by law to impound a vehicle of a private citizen, but you are not powerful enough to see something wrong with a yellow bus, or...
No. Those guys get violent.
Yes. I have seen firsthand.
So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You victimize the ones you can impose on.
The ones that
and the
seem
ones that
sane.
are causing huge challenges to the society get free because they are more powerful
So it
than
goes
you.
back to what Hassan said, the law. First of all, they can't be armed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how is the law protecting the LASTMA official from those criminal elements
Like
who
I
are on
said,
the road?
technology, but I want to even go somewhere else because I was on the island on Sunday, and what I saw worried me, and it skipped my mind when we were starting this conversation, and I must mention it. I saw a bus loaded like coaster bus, those white but really really old one, loaded full with a speaker on top and a group of boys sitting on the bus. Then some of them were hanging through the windows, sitting on the window. And they were playing loud music on the road, also by the way. And I saw LASTMA officials, and they saw them drive by. They didn't stop them. If my own tail light is broken, they will stop me or I do something. So
What's their job description?
to clear the road traffic. But these people, on the way, when I was coming back, this same vehicle now had these guys coming back, probably from the beach or something, and then they had knives. They were like, see, what I'm talking about is the violence part.
Yes.
The people that can commit the greatest harm
Yes.
to us get away scot-free because they are
so in that kind of
strong.
So would
situation,
you want
LASTMA should
a
communicate to
LASTMA-
police.
yes.
You can't put
Yes.
the LASTMA in that kind of situation.
those
His
are
job
the
is
things.
traffic.
Okay, yeah. Just to answer that, there was one time, a long time ago, one of my friends, a naval officer, we went to the Balogun market, and then there was a fight, that broke out. And she said she had to go and I'm like, why? She says, I'm a security, I must intervene. Yes, even though I'm not a police officer or whatever, I have to step in. And that is what I would expect really a LASTMA official to do, to be able to point it out to whoever it is responsible. Because that area, I'm telling you, opposite stadium, we cannot continuously say that, well, it has nothing to do with us. We have moved it to the police, and then nothing is being done. It causes accidents, it causes congestion. And then you're right. Many times you see the yellow buses or a car that is rickety, just get past.
Right.
They do anything and get past.
Let me
but
take this
normal
call.
person will be stopped.
Murphy, are you there? Thanks for calling. Are you there? Hello, Murphy.
Yes, I can hear you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
The LASTMA officials, especially the ones at the Oshodi side, they are very, very clandestine in their activity of extorting road users. It is clear that when these guys have so much perfect the system that anytime they just stop any car, they try to make you in a way that you get out of your person. So you probably argue with them once in a while on issues because, one, they will not tell you the offense that you have actually committed. Secondly, they will begin to ask you for your car key because at that point you will resist. Then the next thing they will do, they will bring a towing van between 2-3 minutes because this is what happened to me. A LASTMA officer stopped me and I parked the car and I wind down the car and immediately I begin to ask him, what's my offense? And he said, no problem, just come down from the car. I said, but just tell me I'm here, you're here. So just tell me. He said, no, I should come down from the car. Immediately as I as I was in the car, they have already called the towing van to come to pick the car. Wow. Immediately, they are taking the towing van. I came down from the car and said, but you have not said anything concerning my offense. And they took the car to their office. And the reason why they do all these things is because they have a method that if the car gets to their office, they are going to extort you from their office, and probably they will take more money from you. So they take the car to the office. They did not give you a ticket. They did not give you anything. So when you get there, they will tell you to wait for those LASTMA officers who actually arrested you to come back. So when you are there, you see a lot of people that they are doing the same thing too. So you wait for them. They will come at night. Already you are frustrated. Already you are under pressure. Then you need to leave that place. So they begin to give you demands that, okay, if you want your car to leave today, this is what you are going to pay. And this demands without a ticket, without any proof of the fact that you have committed any offense. They will ask for those money from you and tell you that's the only way you can go. When you tell them, okay, let me give you the money so that you can bring my car out, they are going to give you
Murphy,
account numbers that are probably...
Murphy, I get the point.
Yes,
so
yes,
you're telling me that you were stopped for absolutely no reason. They didn't tell you what the offense was. Or do you have an idea what you could have done to cause them to stop you?
Okay, so immediately they stopped me. I don't know what the offense was, but when I stopped and I went down the car and I began to ask the LASTMA officer, what is the issue? And the LASTMA officer said, no, I should come down. So at that point he went to the front. I was still in the car while he was at the front of the car. So I waited. So immediately I waited. I was saying, well, can't you just come so that you can tell me the offense? So the next officer, which probably be his own boss, called the towing van to tow the car that since I don't want to come down.
So they didn't tell you your offense?
Okay. I just wanted to be sure there was no offense because I know that we have LASTMA PRO who has been... Thank you very much, Murphy, for your story. We've had a few, even the LASTMA DG has been here. We've had a few of the officials. So, and they tell us that there's always a way to lay your complaint in this kind of... Because there'll always be all those bad eggs amongst them. But this particular story is quite interesting because it's one of these stories that we must relay to the boss of LASTMA, especially in that area. They must ensure that people, you can't stop somebody for no reason, just go and get it.
So I think that they need to review their rules of engagement. And Nigerians need to understand what their rights are. So if a LASTMA official stops you and he's questioning you or asking you to step down, what are your rights as a Nigerian? Do you step down from the car? Are you allowed to step down? Does the law protect you? Or, you know, we need to understand what we as Nigerians are supposed to do exactly and what they are supposed to do. So I know that in the police case, there was a time, when I was coming all the way from Alagbado, the police, we have a lot of police issues on the road. They'll stop you. They'll ask you for this and that. So my husband had to re-educate me on some of the things I needed to show them and the things I'm not supposed to show them. So you don't be asking me for ownership of car in the middle of the road. Asking me for receipt of the car in the middle of the road and who owns the car and all that. It's not your job. So I know the things to present to them and all that. So they need to, LASTMA as an official body needs to present to us how we can begin to protect ourselves. That's one. Also, I noticed there's no synergy between the security agencies. They're always fighting each other. And we can't, because for me, if my husband was a LASTMA official, I would not ask him to stop the yellow buses because I've seen what they can do to them. I would ask him, if you see yellow bus, please shift. If you see ordinary people, stop them. At least those ones, we expect them to be sane. Because I need him to protect his life as well. And I also believe that we should protect one another. So if there's synergy between them, they know when the yellow buses are becoming very unruly, that the police around can come in and step in. Right. So that where the limitations of the LASTMA officials end, that's where the one for the police starts. And they can work together. So they need to work in synergy. I think we've been able to make our voices heard. We have to wrap up on this. Let's take a few more comments.
Okay, I was just going to say that for these buses, yellow buses, is it that LASTMA do not have like phones to take pictures of the yellow that escaped? They know where they prosecute them when they finally get to them? Because these buses have, they're registered and they have parking lots where they finally end the day. So we should be able to trace them.
The story of the man that called also reminded me. Just as I traveled, my staff was supposed to go to Ekpe, and on their way to the site, they were supposed to pick up a client. So the client said, I'm not at the bus stop. So they moved ahead, and when the client said he was, they stopped there, which was right in front of do not stop sign. So the LASTMA official came in and struggled the key to the vehicle and took the key. That can't you see a do not stop sign? And the man was like, no, he was using his hands free. He wasn't holding his phone. And the client was saying, no, after the bus, just after the bus stop, just after the bus stop, just after the bus stop. And he kept moving forward until the point where the client said he was, and there was a do not stop sign. So I first harassed my staff that you had no business stopping at the do not stop sign. Well, guess what? They took that day because they took the vehicle, the office vehicle, all the way to Oshodi. And that meant the clients dropped from the car. Everybody now went to Oshodi and we're now waiting. Oh, yeah, call Loga, and I was not around. You know, so it was it's a process. You could have taken that picture of the vehicle. You have my number plate and send me the bill. You could have taken that picture of the vehicle and ensure that you would. There's no way I will not get it because you have my message, my text. I get text messages from the officials for my registration. So we could do those things so that you don't waste people's valuable time. And they could have imported the vehicle like that, and you'd not be waiting till whenever to get the vehicle. And we had to pay, by the way.
Okay. All right. So that is feedback. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm having this conversation, so that Nigerians can call in and let us know the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that hopefully governments can begin to see where they can help fix the problem. So that
maybe next time we should also do VIO. We need to know why they are
Yes, POS.
With their POS.
Yes. We'll do VIO next. All right. Okay, let's go on a break now. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.